This video is brought to you by the FARMER-KLEIN YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Welcome to MeadowGrove Extended. This map can be found over at simplysafemods.com, and there will be a link in the description below. As such, this map is PC only. But before that, this video is brought to you by Brett Pruitt. Thank you for being a farm baron. Let me start out by saying my initial very first impressions were me loading into the map, looking at the PDA, getting into flight mode. At that point, I said, holy... All right, so after 196 Farming Simulator 17 first impression map videos, and after 310 Farming Simulator 19, or did I say Farming Simulator 17 back there? Basically, we had, for Farming Simulator 17, 196 map first impression videos. For Farming Simulator 19, 310 map first impressions videos. It takes quite a map to seriously impress me like this map has. This map is crazy. So let me read a bit of the description. Welcome to MeadowGrove Extended, which is a UK-based map. All the animals are built into the map, like the FS17 version. No farms can be sold, but there are placeable areas that you wish to build your own yard. We have animated objects, 208 farmlands, 23-ish farmyards, multiple selling points, 262 buyable small to medium fields, transport missions, field missions, multi-terrain angle, and he does list not Maize Plus ready yet. So it sounds like there may be a Maize Plus version of this map coming in the future. So yes, this map is crazy. This map is insane. This map is huge, but it is a standard size map. It is not 4X. This is a standard size map, but the amount of buyable land is, dare I say, unprecedented, possibly. I don't remember a map that's had 262 buyable plots. This map definitely has that. I do have a couple warnings, and some errors are popping up here when I load into the map. Let's go back and look at those real quick. So warnings on some placeable fill types, not liking the fill type rye. We'll have to see if this map is multi-fruit. I don't think this map is multi-fruit. So there are, okay, so this map has some equipment at the very start that is set up with GPS. So if you load this map up without guidance steering and without the universal passenger mod, then you're going to get some warnings. That's what these warnings are. So if you use guidance steering, then some of the stuff at the very start will include guidance steering. That's pretty much what all of those are. I'm not sure what these are. These relate to some issues with animated objects. Failing to load a particular texture there. All right, but that's about it. So I'm sure if Nathan sees this video, he'll get these issues resolved in an update. But at any rate, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. Let's zoom on out, and there we go. That is the PDA, and boy, does it get busy once you see all of the hot points. So no, this map does not include rye. It is not multi-fruit. So that looks like some sort of typo maybe in one of the XMLs. Hopefully he can get that resolved, but it shouldn't really impact anything at all. Let's take a look at the lands area. And oh boy, look, everything can be bought on this map. There isn't too much in the way of non-buyable land, if there's any non-buyable land. We start out by owning just the cow farm up here. And this particular cow farm is a dual cow farm. There are 2 independent cow areas on this particular farm. As far as other farm lands, there are many. So we have a sheep farm down here by field 1, includes field 72. We bought for $77,500. There is a cow farm over here by field 262. It can be bought for $281,000. We have a pig farm up here by field 40 and 42 for $169,000. There is a sheep farm over here by field 220 for $100,000. We have a chicken farm over here that includes field 99 or 199, 201, and 202 for $97,000. And we have a horse area here that can be bought, includes field 31, interestingly enough, for $62,000. And I think that pretty much includes all of the animal areas. Now, let's talk about the 23-ish farmyards. There's a ton of these farmyards. Most of them can be found by the fuel icon. So one down here by field 126 for $120,000. We have one over here by field 110 and 111 for $134,000. One over here by field 100 for $147,000. We already talked about the horse farm or the cow farm. Then we have, what is that? So we've got one right here by field 69, $199,000. We already talked about the sheep pasture here, which is a viable farm. Then we have one over here by field 179, $29,000. 183, 172, $245,000. The chicken farm. We've got the biogas plant up here, which could also potentially be a farm, for $177,000. We have a viable area here for field 226 for $33,000. Then we have a fuel station, just a normal fuel station, and the unbuyable land, the road network, and such. It can be bought for $0. So that way you can landscape right up to the road, should you so wish. And I'm sure there are a lot of farmyards that aren't even marked on this map with fuel points. This map is absolutely crazy. And I really think that there is a second biogas plant around here somewhere. When we get around to the fly around, I am almost certain. Yeah, there we go. We have another biogas plant right there by field 46 and 23. And then we have a biogas plant over here by field 208. There are 2 biogas plants on the map. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in post, I'm going to overlay the PDA for the normal MeadowGrove, which is this area in here. And then I'm going to overlay this PDA with the old MeadowGrove mapped out on a kind of a hand-drawn blue line. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the generic soil map, because this map does not appear to have a custom soil map. It does have a seasons mask in the in the map file, but it is not referenced in the XML. So the seasons mask that is in the map download is not activated. So this map is not fully seasons prepared, meaning that it does not have a seasons mask, but you should still be able to play this map with seasons. Just note that you won't have certain things like hay and straw rotting in the fields. So here we can see how the generic soil map is being applied to all 262 viable plots of land. Fair good bit of silty clay around the outside area of the map. Good chunk of the interior of the map is loamy sand, and then sandy loam on the outside of that, and then loam in the middle. So if we take a look at our prices screen, we'll see that there are 4 main sell points available to us here on the map. We have 2 spinneries. We have a pair of sawmills. Go ahead and scroll on over. We do have a unique sell point for our eggs and milk. We have 2 sawmills, like I said, for our wood chips, 2 spinneries for our cotton and wool. If we do not own one of the 2 biogas plants, we can take our silage, hay, straw, and grass to the barn sell point. And if we have straw harvest activated, the barn will also take our pellets. Now, if we take a look at our vehicle screen, you can see that all of the stuff is owned. None of it is leased. Some of it is pretty heavily used and needs a fair bit of maintenance on it. And we also have some pallets available to us. And I think we have a fair bit of bales available to us. We're just going to have to check and make sure that those bales aren't decorative. We do not have any animals at the start, and we do have contracts available. And with 262 fields, there is the potential for a whole heap load of contracts to be available. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Start out the Massey Ferguson 5613, Fiat 1300 DT, the Steyr Profi CVT 4115. So our tractor's ranging horsepower from 130 to 150 horsepower. We start out with the Bison Super Z056 Harvester. That is then obviously paired up with the Z056 grain header. We have the 1978 pickup truck, the FarmTech TDK 1600 trailer, the Strataman SEK 802 trailer. We have the Polymag 300 cultivator, the Rabe MKE 300 power harrow, the Amazon D830 seeder, the Kuhn sprayer, as well as the side mower, and then a Pottinger windrower. We have the New Holland round baler, the Knight RA142 TMR mixer, water trailer. We have front loader forks. We have front loader arms. We have the bale handler, universal bucket. We have the bale spike with the straw blower. Then we have the pallet fork, bale spike. We have the straw blower itself. We have some weights. And then we move into a placeable modded sheep pasture, large grain silo. And if we happen to have straw harvest activated, the pellet haul palletizer is also pre-placed on the map. Now, as I said, the farms are pretty much pre-built into the map. If you start this map up on Farm Manager or start from scratch, there will be no equipment and you will own no land, but the farms will all be placed as they exist today. We can buy the sheep pasture back. You have some placeable vehicle workshops, modded grain silo, and then we have the farmhouse. So this map does not have the ability, it looks like, to sell the sleep triggers. So you will be kind of limited to where you can sleep at night, because I don't think you can place any more sleep triggers on the map. Now, across the street from our career start point, we have our pickup truck, and we have the MeadowGrove stores. So this is our vehicle shop. Around back, we have our customized repair, sell, and trade trigger here. We do have a fuel station also here at the shop. And then our vehicle shop icon is around front in the sales area. I'm going to go ahead and show that to you because it's rather unique. Initially, I was like, what is this word? Why is the word sales just right here in the middle of the room? Well, that is your shop trigger. Let's go ahead and get our Mahindra. Lease that up since we're already here. And then we will come back to the shop and get our Mahindra once we've had a chance to do our fly around. But there you can see where the stuff spawns in at. We have a fairly large area for the vehicles to spawn in. So you shouldn't have any problem buying your whole fleet in one fail swoop. So with that, let's go ahead and get ready for the fly around since we're not at the main farm. And who knows which really farm you might decide you want to buy. We're going to go do the fly around. Then we're coming back here, get our Mahindra, drive around, explore as many of the areas as possible. Knowing, of course, that within just a general reasonable time frame, we're not going to have the opportunity probably to hit every single possible farmyard. Let's get a little bit of altitude. And like I said, this was about the time where I said some choice words. Some very positive choice words about the map, but choice words nonetheless. Let's go ahead and just do a quick little pan around. I did check. It does not look like the hedges have collisions. I was able to walk straight through the hedges. Of course, fences and gates definitely have collisions. Walls definitely have collisions, but it didn't look like hedges had any collisions whatsoever. All right, let's go ahead and well, let's pick a point and fly around, right? So we're going to go ahead and kind of do a counterclockwise approach to this. We have a fair bit of just farmland below. There aren't a whole lot of sell points down here. There aren't too many actual farms down here either. At least not animal farms. We are coming up to what I believe is one of the kind of the arable farmyards below. Simply because it does have a fuel trigger, so you can see that one down there. Now we're somewhat skirting along the southern edge of the map at this point. Looking across to the northern area of the map, we have another arable farm below here. And another one below right here. Now if we scoot up the western, or the eastern edge of the map, got some more potential farmyards. We have a sell point over here to our right. Our first animal farm is below here, a big dairy operation. We're going to come back to all of the animal farms and try to locate and basically describe where all of the triggers are and so forth. So we're coming over here to the first biogas plant, which is directly below. Animal dealer right across the street. And we are pretty much in, I guess, the MeadowGrove proper part of the map. This would have been part of the original MeadowGrove released for Farming Simulator 19 a while ago. Got another arable farm directly below here. A sheep farm below there. And remember I mentioned the palletizer? Well, the palletizer is right over here. Now, I did not happen to load this map up without straw harvest activated to know if the palletizer haul is basically embedded in the map permanently, or if it's only available if you have straw harvest activated. But here it is, full palletizer haul in all of its functional state. So if you happen to load the map up without straw harvest, I would be interested to know. Basically, do you get that no matter what? Let's head on back, kind of double back here. There is a pig farm just north of the BGA. As we traverse across, we have another arable farm directly in front of us here. The map does have hot air balloons, as you have seen. There's also a large jet that will be flying over. So likely another arable yard directly below here. And at this point, we are going to be coming across the northern edge of the map. A little town. We have our fuel station that's not attached to a playable farm. But with everything that is basically on this map, it is really hard to believe that this is a standard size map, but it is. Basically, if we look at the coordinates, the map coordinates down in the mini map, when we get down in the southeast corner of the map, you're going to find that those coordinates line up with a standard size map. So we have a sheep farm directly in front of us there. Making our way over here to the second biogas plant that's available on the map. And that is below here. We have a very, very large chicken farm, which is located directly below us here. And then our main farm is going to be located right here, kind of in the northern center part of the map. And like I said, it has two dairy areas. So you could run two different types of cattle. You can have a beef operation and a dairy operation, or you could just double up on your dairy operation. We have a horse below there, and then here's our doubled up dairy operation. So we have one dairy pasture right here, and then we have a second dairy pasture right there. So let's go ahead and make our way down to the shop. We'll get that Mahindra, and we'll start to do the drive around. We got the big jet flying somewhere. Where's the shop? We'll just jump to it. All right, let's see here. Got a long drive ahead of us. Bulk of the stuff is in this general direction. So yeah, I have to say this map is really impressed me with its overall layout and look. It feels good, and lots of things feel proportionally correct. Sometimes you get some maps that don't quite feel right proportionally. You feel that maybe you're a little bit too big for the area, or maybe the area is shrunken down. Looks like some people have been cutting the corner there. But all of these areas, they just feel right. They feel properly sized. Like I said, proportionally. Here's one of the arable farms. By the glow, I would say that there is a maintenance trigger in there. Really amazing sight lines. There goes the jet. So if you're looking for a good map to maybe close out your Farming Simulator 19 experience, I have to say, you probably don't need to look too far further than MeadowGrove Extended. So here we have one of our sell points. It is New Groves, and New Groves is going to accept sugarcane, sugar beets, and all of our crops. Now I want to see, can we also make use of these sheds? We can indeed. And it looks like the sheds have... It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if the sheds have tip collisions on them or not for storing root crops or grain or whatever. But I mean, just imagine this map in FS22 with all the parallax occlusion stuff. I mean, you get up here, you know that these are 2D textures. But yeah, just... Oh, shush it. Just imagining what this map could look like in an FS22 variant. With the 3D windows, so you could see kind of the windows had depth to them and such. So here we have one of our sawmills. We have our log selling point. And then our wood chip sell point here. I like how this map has changed things around a little bit. Like, we have the hashes here to represent the triggered marker, as opposed to just the traditional corners. A little bit of a soccer field for us Americans, football field for the rest of the world across the street. Nice little touch. Now this is the biogas plant. Second biogas plant. But it's also marked as a pig farm silo, which is kind of interesting because I don't think that there's actually pig farm triggers here. We have a fuel trigger there. Let's just check what this does. Oh, we're not tall enough. But there is a trigger there for a dump station. And it looks like there is a fill station here to dump into. And on the PDA, it says pig farm silo. Right there. We have our digester for the BGA up here. We have our 2 silage bunkers for this particular BGA. And then the digestate trigger is around the back here. This is where you're going to draw your digestate out. Looks like there is a workshop trigger inside of here. Indeed, there is. So I believe if we continued to the left, we're just going to run into a map barrier. Let's try to double back and catch up to the chicken farm. Well, no, that's the road we just went down. So many roads. Oh my gosh, so many roads on this map. That's another thing that I think makes it, maybe sells the map a bit, is just the sheer number of roads that are everywhere. It will make, I think, learning to get around a little difficult. It might make this video rather entertaining. This is the road we came up. See, I want to get over there to the chickens. Let's not get hung up on the chickens too much as opposed to just looking out over these views from the road. Maybe we'll be able to double back over here. It's just a lane. Coming in here to kind of an abandoned farm area. Oh, there's more of a road. Some more usable storage. Area maybe to dump your grain. I just want to take a look. So this road... This road continues up. I would say maybe the worst part about this PDA is the unclarity of the roads. If the roads could somehow be more clearly marked, I think it would really help the initial player with an understanding of where they could go. So this looks like it could be one of those buildable areas. Not super flat, but still. Well, there's the main road as we're winding our way back around. Like I said, these hedges do not have collisions. I drove into a fence there. So other than fences, walls, and gates having collisions, you should be good to go. Well, it looks like this will take us back up to the chickens. Lots of little sheds scattered around here and there. This would be an amazing map for multiplayer, given the number of viable farms like this one here. You can have 8 easily. I mean, there's 8 animal areas. I think players would have to agree to kind of... Well, here we are back where we started. Now, I really need to find a way to get over here to these chickens. So on any road that's going left, like this one, maybe this lane will take us back to the chickens. So it really makes you wonder if, you know, if there's a way you could have more than 8 farms in multiplayer. Right? I mean, there's so many possible areas here. So here we have the chicken farm. Sorry it took so long, but hey, we saw a good bit of the map, at least on the western side. Even if you bought this, there isn't a sleep trigger here at this farm. You have your maintenance trigger. Farm storage. Plenty of farm storage. And here we have the food area for our chickens. You want to dump your wheat in there. Inside of here, we have our chicken trigger, 400 chickens in this particular area. Then you have your egg spawn point right there. So you can have yourself a massive chicken operation, up to 400 chickens. Lots of vehicles, lots of storage. I believe that road is going to continue on off map. So let's just double back. And hope we don't get as lost going somewhere else. Like I said, if the PDA could have these roads marked a little bit better, I think that would go a long way of helping a new player figure out how to get around. So this lane should be taking us over to another farm area. So inside of here we have our fuel trigger directly straight ahead. And then we have, this is for sheep. So 250 sheep. We have our food trough. We have our water trough is inside of here. So we use the animal pen extension mod, and that is what puts these blue pipes here. Helps us locate where the water troughs are and where the milk triggers are at the dairy operation. Slow the clock down for us a little bit. And it helps us locate, 1, the water trough, and 2, if the map happens to support custom placement of the pipes. The fact that they are placed right here simply means that the map does not include custom support, but it doesn't mean that you cannot relocate those on your own. Then our wool is going to spawn right there. So that is this little sheep area. There we have our maintenance trigger. Saw a sell point over there. We got to figure out how to wind our way back to that. We got a little bit of a forested area. But really great views everywhere. I mean, even off the edge of the map at this point, when you look way beyond the map edge, like that, over here to our right, sorry, our left, it's really difficult to discern where the map ends and where your distant scenery begins, unless you kind of, line it up with respect to where the tree line is and everything. Same here, looking out over the map. Really difficult to discern where the map edge starts and stops. So we're coming around here to the pseudo town area, I guess, where we have our fuel station. If we take our road to the left, it's going to bring us around possibly again to the sawmill and to this viable farm. For the sake of the duration of the video, I'm going to go ahead and turn right. So we have our fuel trigger. Bed and breakfast. Wi-Fi is now available. We'll head up here to another grain sell point, I believe. Very interesting sell point. We have a side dump, mill end. And mill end is also going to be where we sell our grains. We have a side dump right to there. Another viable farm area over here to our left. Just an arable area. But a potential farm area nonetheless. I say fully embrace the idea of basically being able to farm anywhere on the map, should you so wish. Buy any farmland. No two gameplays could be the same. We have our next animal farm. Right here. So we have a pig farm, 300 pigs in this particular area. We have the drop-off point. We have our water trigger right here. There's the water trough. Our food trigger is located right there. And then inside of this door, we have our straw trigger. Right there. We have our slurry point. And again, plenty of storage. You could spill your grain into there and store your grain that way. Do have a silo. Also, we have our dump point. So we got our fill point. Dump point is likely going to be inside of here. There you go. So that trigger is a little catchy because we have the closed door, right? And then we have to get inside of here, and then we have to get out of that door trigger to get back into this one. So that trigger is a little sketchy. What's this? Will this allow us to... Oh, turn the light on. So I would think it would be useful to maybe move one of those, maybe make a switch to open and close that gate, because that is, I think players are going to have issues with that, because they're going to come up, they're going to open the gate, they're going to open the door like I did, and then they're going to try to immediately open this, and then it's not going to let them because they're not overlapping, but they're still technically, I think, in one trigger when they enter into another trigger. So this gap isn't enough. So I'd like to see maybe this trigger move this way a little bit, and maybe a switch here. That could be useful to open that, possibly for a suggestion for a modification, just to make it a little bit more playable. We have fuel, and then we have a area over here where you could dump your manure. I am expecting that you're going to have to clean these animal areas out of manure, as opposed to having them pile on their own. And then we have our maintenance trigger inside of that building. So if we head on down this side road, we'll come to the next animal farm. Which is located right here. And I believe this is a big dairy operation. We have our fuel trigger. Again, lots of storage all over the place. Yeah, we need to come down one more. So here we have our dairy operation. We have our food and straw trigger. We have our water trigger here on the other side. We're a cow buy point, 200 cattle. Then we have our milk trigger. So the Lily Milk Sales Machine is part of the Animal Pen extension mod, and that is what helps us locate where the milk trigger might be located. Like I said, I think you're going to have to clean out the manure areas here. And when you do that, there is a space right here for it to pile up. There is a silage bunker around the back of this building. There you go. And I'm trying to remember where the slurry point is. At this point, a lot of these animal areas are getting a little blurry. A lot of these animal areas get a little blurry. So here we have the slurry trigger and the slurry pit. That is the one of the cow areas. We still haven't found our way over to the starting cow area. That's the goal. So I am definitely no expert in British maps or British farming or British countryside, but I have to say this map just has that. Could it be is this the quintessential ideal British farming map? I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Let me know. Those of you that are from the British countryside, have been there, know what British farming is like, I'd be curious to know, how does this map maybe line up with your expectations? I do have to say that if I wasn't already overcommitted on things, I would strongly consider playing this map, but honestly at this point I'm overcommitted on lots of stuff. So there we've got another nice placeable area. That would be excellent for storing bales, no doubt. One of our 2 spinneries is located right here. Let's go ahead and see which one this one might be. So this is the top spinnery on the sell listings. And then we have Tommy 6X. Okay. Little maintenance workshop. I just don't want to get lost. Where are we at now? Oh, we need to double back. We need to get up into here. So we know this is a road. Let's go that way. We got a nice sign, wool sell point. See if we can't turn up here by the palletizer building. Yet more possible storage here, just off the side of that field. Another little yard, farmyard. Like the map author said, 23-ish yards. There's just so many potential. So much potential for playing this map in multiplayer, playing it in single player. You could play it a dozen different times, a dozen different ways, and never play it the same way twice. What's back there? Like a little camping area? Yeah, we got a little campground going on. So much detail on this map. It's just incredible. I don't feel like I need to keep pointing out every possible farmyard or storage point, but yeah, as I continue to drive around, you're going to see them seemingly just keep popping up. All right, so I feel we're coming up here into maybe MeadowGrove proper. And we've made our way back to the shop, finally. Alright, now let's see if we can't... Brown... We need to get up to these other animal areas. All right, so if we go this way, and then I need to try to turn left. Sheep farm. Oh, look at that view. All right, here we have the sheep farm. And we have fuel. Workshop. And then the sheep farm itself, or the sheep buy trigger. It's located right here. 250 sheep. Inside of here we have our food trough. Water trough is there. I'll show you how to get to that. We have our wool spawn point. And then this will take us out to the road. So to get to the water, we're going to have to come back here at the gate where we have our sheep buy trigger. And then come around the side of the building, and that's how we can get into our water trough if we don't use the animal pen extension water pipes. And that is the sheep farm. We have another possible farm over here. Looks like there might be a silo for this one. And this is the this is the MeadowGrove farm. Farm of the namesake. Almost as if MeadowGrove farm is it's just a secondary farm to all this other stuff. So we've got our dump station, we've got our fill pipe here at MeadowGrove farm. Here we have our second spinnery. So this would be the spinnery that is marked second on the list. So now we've doubled back to where we had the sign saying that the sheep farm was that way. You see that we have a sign here on our left that says dairy farm. To the right, this is almost like where we've been trying to go the whole time. Another arable farm with silo right there. Here we have the horse farm. Eight horses in this particular area. We have our water trough. We have our food trough. And the straw for the horses, I believe, is around the corner. So there's a trigger marked here. I believe this is where the straw goes. Not super sure on that, but I'm just thinking that is the only seemingly obvious possible spot for the straw. Well, let's finally get over to the where all of our starting equipment is. This is definitely not a map for huge equipment. You're going to want to make sure that you size your equipment appropriately, given the narrow roads. And here we have kind of the star of MeadowGrove Extended. We do have a sleep trigger here. There, it looks like we can even go inside and, well, explore. But what we want to look at is the farmyard itself. And as I said earlier, this is a farmyard where we have 2 cow areas. We have our diesel. Lots of storage in here. And we have our maintenance trigger. Here we have our milk trigger for one of our cow areas. Our slurry point, our manure point, our food and straw triggers. Then we have our cow trigger. 200 cattle in this particular area. And then around the corner, we have our water trough. And then if we make our way around the main farm here, we have the other dairy operation with our milk trigger right there. We have our second cow trigger, another 200 cattle. We have our straw and food triggers. Straw and food right here. We have our slurry pit. And our water trough is located right there. Nice big old spot where you can store your manure. But again, I think we're going to have to clean the manure out, is my guess. And that is, I think, pretty much most of. I don't know if we hit this one. Yes, we have hit that one. I want to head down here and get these sell points. And I think we've hit this pig area. Have we not? Yep. So I want to head down here and get those sell points. And then that's going to do us for this video. She's a long one, but this map is massive. It is a very big standard size map with respect to how it plays. Obviously, standard size map is a standard size map. It's not larger than any other standard size map as far as land mass, but the fields are so densely packed together. The roads are plentiful. Easy to get lost for sure. But boy, this is going to keep somebody busy for a very, very long time. All right, coming down here to the other biogas plant. So we have 2 large bunkers. We have our digestate pipe and our digester. Across the street we have our animal dealer. And here we have the animal trigger for the animal dealer. And where we're going to conclude our tour of the day is right here. We have our egg sell point. We have our milk sell point. We have a brick wall blocking our way. And we have our third main grain sell point located right here. So guys, that is going to do us for our tour of MeadowGrove Extended. Now it is time for you to start your tour of MeadowGrove Extended. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this map? Have you been wowed and oohed and awed of everything that you have seen here? I have been, quite frankly. And like I said, if I didn't have already pre-established commitments, overcommitted myself at this point, then I would give this map a serious thought on some gameplay. So again, this map can be found over to simplysafemods.com. It is a PC-only map. Sounds like this map might not be released to the Giants mod hub, simply with the result of the amount of time it would take probably to get through. Well, FS22 would probably be here at that point. So until next time, happy farming.